Hi everyone, Christina here. Welcome to day 10 of the holiday card series. Before we get into the card for today, I have to do a little bit of housekeeping. In Monday's video, day 8, I asked you guys to guess which one of these adorable children was me when I was a little girl, because this was at my grandparents' house. My grandmother had made us pajamas. I was number 1. Yes, I was very, very blonde as a child. Very, very blonde. In fact, I don't think that was even as blonde as I was. Like, I was even more blonde when I was younger. But anyway, I had to clear that up. So many of you guessed number 3, which is my older sister, Anna. And she and I look very alike. We look very similar. We're very much sisters. And so I'm not surprised that you thought that was me. So for today's card, I have a really fun card for you using some Rainbow Sparkle embossing powder from Brutus Monroe. I've had this little jar of embossing powder on my desk for quite some time, just waiting for the perfect moment to use it, and today is that day. I have a really clean and simple card for you using some Rainbow Sparkle embossing powder and a really big snowflake stamp set. You guys know I love snowflakes, so let's get into it. The stamp set I'm using from Colorado Craft Company is Winter Wishes Snowflake. It has this huge snowflake image plus some other greetings. I'm going to be using the Rainbow Sparkle embossing powder from Brutus Monroe, and I'm going to start out by stamping the snowflake. I'm using my creative corners and my MISTI so that I can have my cardstock a little bit away from the corner. And then I'm inking up this huge snowflake stamp with the Versamark ink. Versamark's a very sticky ink, so it's absolutely perfect for heat embossing powder. So after I had that inked up, I flipped over the door of my MISTI onto my red cardstock and made sure to walk my fingertips over the entire snowflake image to make sure it's transferred completely to the cardstock. By the way, this is Schoolhouse Red cardstock from Simon Says Stamp. I then used a coffee filter to catch the embossing powder as I sprinkled it over the top of the stamped snowflake. So you can see how sparkly this embossing powder is. It really doesn't show as much in photos, but in video like this, you can really see how much this sparkles. Now, this is rainbow sparkle, so there are different colors that come out in the glitter, and you don't see it as much on this red background, but I did test it on some black cardstock, and that is where it's really, really noticeable. So even though I'm showing it on red today, if you end up getting this rainbow sparkle embossing powder, try it on black cardstock. It is like magic. So I'm heat setting this until everything is melted. And I did notice that if you go over the embossing powder like it's just barely melted, go over a little bit more, it does darken up that clear embossing powder. The embossing powder is kind of like a clear embossing powder plus glitter. And so you want to make sure that all of it is melted and the glitter doesn't flake off on your hands, which is really, really cool. So now I'm going to funnel in that extra embossing powder back into the jar, and then I'll screw on the lid and set it aside. To clean up any of that glitter that was everywhere all over my MISTI, I used a Swiffer dusting cloth. This is a trick that I learned from Jennifer McGuire. I'm now using the Joyful die set. This is actually from CZ Design and Simon Says Stamp. And I die cut the Joyful 4 times out of some Solar White cardstock. I'm now using some Gina K Connect glue and adding dots of glue all over the back of this die cut. I'm going to put it over each little end piece and then a few dots in the middle of each line just to make sure that everything is adhered completely. Before I put this down onto another one of the same die cut, I'm going to pounce it onto some scratch paper just to get rid of any extra glue that might squish out from in between. And then I place it over the top, line them up, and then immediately pick it up with my fingertips and use my fingers to guide this so that it's perfectly lined up. And I'll press those together. And I did that for all 4 of the Joyful die cuts. Once they were all adhered together, I put glue on the back. And then I used my T-square ruler to line up this greeting and press it down onto my card. So I just slid that ruler out from underneath and then pressed it down onto the red cardstock. For the dot on the J, I put a little tiny dot of glue and then used my tweezers to position that small white cardstock dot. After I had that first one down, then I put a dot of glue on top of that first dot and then proceeded to layer it up with the second layer. And I did this until I had all 4 dots used. I then took a number 10 bold Gelly Roll pen and added a dashed line around the outside edge of my card. This is just to help bring in more white on the card since that greeting was just white. I felt like it needed a friend, so a white dashed line will do that. My card base is made out of some Neenah Classic Crest Solar White 110-pound cardstock. I scored that at 5.5 to create a top folding card, and then put some adhesive all on the front of the card and pressed my red piece down onto the front. To finish off this greeting, I'm going to take one of the sentiment strips from Simon Says Stamp. This is one of their Christmas sets of sentiment strips, and you actually get 4 of the same sheet, so you can make multiples of the same card with the same greeting. I'm using a craft knife and also a ruler. I'm using a cut-a-line from My Sweet Petunia, but I didn't actually use any of the special features on this ruler for this cutting. I just happened to have it on my desk and used it while I was cutting with my craft knife. So I cut this strip right out of the center of the sheet, and I'm going to be using the greeting that says Christmas Greetings. So it's going to finish my entire sentiment as joyful Christmas greetings. I put some foam adhesive, some very thin strip of foam adhesive from Darice on the back of that greeting, and then I used my tweezers to hold that in place while I put it in the position where I wanted it, and just press that down onto the card front. To finish it off, I'm using these clear embellishments. They're kind of like half of a circle. They look like raindrops to me, and I use this jewel picker to hold them while I put glue down onto my card and then pressed the little embellishments down on. Now, this glue is actually white until it dries, but it does dry clear. So I just want to let you guys know that you're not going to see in the video here where it's all clear, but I will have some photos at the end of the video, and you'll be able to see how it looks once that glue is completely dry. I really love how that turned out. That big, huge snowflake makes quite the statement. And also those little raindrop little embellishments, I don't even know what to call them. They look so beautiful. You'll see in the pictures on screen right now how well they turned out. When I was actually making the card, I didn't have a chance to film what it looked like after the glue was dry, but the glue is definitely clear. It's absolutely beautiful. And I really, really love how this card turned out. So my question for you guys down in the comments today is all about hot cocoa. Hot cocoa is one of my most favorite holiday treats, and I want to know, what do you put in your hot cocoa? Are you a traditionalist? Is it just marshmallows? Is it, do you put any like special flavored creamers in it? I really like peppermint hot chocolate, and I also really love hazelnut hot chocolate. On screen, I've got 3 more videos for you to check out. These are the 2018, 2017, and 2016 Day 10 videos of the Holiday Card Series. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and also subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you never miss one of these videos again. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in another video very soon.